Hello, comrades. Welcome back to Ushanka Show. Stories about life in the Soviet Union. Здравствуйте, дорогие товарищи. В эфире программа Ushanka Show. Several weeks ago, I posted this picture on Ushanka Show YouTube community page, and I promised that I will try to analyze speech that Comrade Stalin did at the Lenin's funeral back in 1924. But before we look at the Stalin speech, we need to talk really quickly about situation in Soviet Russia in the year of 1924, what was going on, what was actually happening prior Lenin's death. It's kind of going to help us to understand the big picture. Fun fact, details about illness and death of Vladimir Lenin will be remained classified until January of 2024. So for 100 years, the Soviet government and now Russian government keeps this information secret, which of course brings a bunch of questions right away. Some of you may have heard rumors that Lenin was actually poisoned, probably by Comrade Stalin, who was trying to remove his main obstacles on the way to power. And of course there are other speculations and rumors that the main reason why Lenin died so early is because he had a syphilis, and he was treated with heavy metals like mercury and other stuff that treat syphilis, and that made complications that he ended up dying from. In any case, Vladimir Lenin was still quite young. He was only 54 when he passed away, which of course brings all that what if question, this alternative history. What would happen to the Soviet Union if Lenin lived for another, would say, 20 years? And I say 20 years because that's when usually Soviet leaders died. For example, Stalin passed away at the age of 74. Nikita Khrushchev passed away at the age of 77, although he was removed from power earlier than that. Leonid Brezhnev, another Soviet old-timer, died at the age of 75. Yuri Andropov, which quite a few people consider Stalin 2.0, died kind of early at the age of 69. And Konstantin Chernenko, the last of the Communist Party walking dead, died at the age of 73, keeping up with traditions. So based on the Soviet leaders' funeral statistics, it's safe to assume that Lenin had about 20 years to run the USSR. If you're interested in my opinion on the question, what if Lenin were alive for another 20 years, my main question will be, will he keep the NEP, New Economic Policy Program, going for extended period of time, or would he do the same thing as Stalin did when he shut down rapidly NEP and then started collectivization and rapid industrialization? Another interesting fact about Vladimir Lenin funeral is that the second most important person in the Soviet government, Leon Trotsky, didn't attend his funeral. And according to Leon Trotsky himself, he was misled by Joseph Stalin, who claimed that the funeral will be on Saturday, January 26, when in fact funeral happened on Sunday, January 27, and at that time Trotsky was on his way to Sukhumi to recover his health. He was on a train, so according to Stalin's telegram, he said, don't bother to return because you won't make it to the Lenin's funeral, just carry on with your trip. We'll take care of the things ourselves. So with his main competition, Leon Trotsky, out of the picture, it was Comrade Stalin, who was in the spotlight during the Lenin's funeral, and he made his famous speech. Товарищи, мы, коммунисты, люди особого склада. Мы скроены из особого материала. Мы те, которые составляем армию великого пролетарского стратега, армию товарища Ленина. I don't know how many of you guys know, because Stalin was Georgian. He had quite a strong accent while he was speaking Russian, and in this short segment I kind of tried to imitate his accent. Like any joke about Stalin, you always speak with this Georgian accent. Comrades, we the communists are people of the special kind. We are made from the special material. We are those who make up the army of the great proletarian strategist, the army of Comrade Lenin. There is nothing higher than the honor of belonging to this army. There is nothing higher than the honor of being a member of the party whose founder and leader is Comrade Lenin. Not everyone can be a member of such a party. Not everyone can endure the hardships and challenges associated with the membership in such a party. Only the sons of the working class, the sons of the ones in need and the ones that struggled, those are the ones, above all, should be the members of such a party. This is why the party of Leninists, the party of communists, at the same time called the party of the working class. Okay, so this is the first paragraph. So far so good. I don't see anything here except some pretty words that have literally no meaning. What is interesting, Comrade Stalin structures his speech like a song. So you have a paragraph, and then you have this kind of almost repeating loud part that kind of nails what was said earlier, so just like a song. Уходя от нас, товарищ Ленин завещал нам держать высоко и хранить в чистоте великое звание члена партии. Клянемся тебе, товарищ Ленин, что мы с честью выполним эту твою заповедь. Departing from us, Comrade Lenin bequeathed to stand tall and maintain the purity of the great rank of the party member. We swear to you, Comrade Lenin, that we will fill this your commandment with honor. Comrade Lenin nurtured our party for 25 years, and he made it the strongest and the most seasoned workers' party in the world. The blows of Tsar regime and its dogs, the fury of bourgeoisie and the landlords, the armed attacks of the white generals Kolchak and Denikin, the armed intervention of England and France, the lies and the slander of the stubborn bourgeois press. All those scorpions were falling on the head of our party for the quarter of century. But our party stood like a rock, deflecting the countless blows of the enemies and leading the working class towards the victory. In these fierce battles, our party forged the unity and cohesion in our ranks. By unity and cohesion, our party won over the enemies of the working class. Okay, so this is the end of the second paragraph. Once again, I don't see anything of the interest besides a bunch of pretty words. The only thing that Stalin mentions, armed intervention by England and France, and conveniently he doesn't name United States. But as you know, there was quite a few American troops landed in Murmansk, so-called Polar Bear Expedition, Northern Russia Expedition, and I actually just listened to the book on CDs about their events, but he didn't mention United States, just England and France. And once again, we're back to the loud part of the Stalin song. Departing from us, Comrade Lenin bequeathed to preserve the unity of our party like the most precious jewel in the world. We swear to you, Comrade Lenin, that we will fill this commandment of yours with honor. Okay, so paragraph 3. The life of the working class is hard and unbearable. Painful are the sufferings of the working people. Slaves and slave owners, serfs and serf owners, peasants and landowners, workers and capitalists, oppressed and the oppressors. This is how the world had been built from the early days and how it remains so today in the vast majority of the countries. Hundreds of times over the centuries, the working people have tried to get rid of their oppressors and become the masters of their fate, but every time, defeated and disgraced, they were forced to retreat, hiding their souls, resentment and humiliation, anger and despair, and fixing their eyes in the distant future where they hoped to find deliverance. The chains of slavery remained intact, or the old chains were replaced by the new ones, just as painful and humiliating. Only in our country, the oppressed masses of working people had succeeded in throwing off the rule of the landowners and capitalists and replace it with the rule of workers and peasants. You know that, comrades, and now the whole world knows it, that this gigantic struggle was led by Comrade Lenin and his party. Lenin's greatness lies, first of all, that by creating the Republic of the Soviets, he thereby showed in practice to the oppressed masses of the whole world that the hope of deliverance is not lost, that the rule of landlords and capitalists is short-lived, that the kingdom of labor can be created by the efforts of the working people themselves, that the kingdom of labor must be created on earth, not in heaven. With this, Lenin kindled the hearts of the workers and peasants of the whole world with the hope of liberation. This is why the name of Lenin has become the most beloved name of the working and exploited masses all over the world.
Уходя от нас, товарищ Ленин завещал нам хранить и укреплять диктатуру пролетариата. Departing from us, Comrade Lenin bequeathed to preserve and to strengthen the dictatorship of proletariat. We swear to you, Comrade Lenin, that we will not spare our power to fulfill your commandment with honor.
So far so good. My attention was caught, of course, by the words kingdom of labor, царство труда, but otherwise it's just a bunch of pretty loud words, really no content so far. Just I see as a Comrade Stalin trying to show that he is the real and true Lenin follower, and that's pretty much it. So far so good, but there's more coming up. The dictatorship of the proletariat was created in our country on the foundation of the alliance between workers and peasants. This is the first and fundamental foundation of the Republic of Soviets. The workers and peasants would not be able to defeat capitalists and landowners without such alliance. The workers couldn't have defeated the capitalists without the support of the peasants. The peasants couldn't have defeated the landowners without the leadership of the workers. The entire history of the civil war in our country is the proof of this successful alliance. But the struggle to strengthen the Republic of Soviets is far from over. It has only taken on a new form. Previously, the alliance of workers and peasants took the form of military alliance, for it was directed against Kolchak and Denikin, so those were so-called whites, generals. Now the alliance of workers and peasants must take the form of economic cooperation between town and country, between workers and peasants, for it is directed against merchant and the kulak. For its aim is the mutual supply of the peasants and workers with everything they need. You know that no one had pursued this task so consistently as Comrade Lenin.
Уходя от нас, товарищ Ленин завещал нам укреплять всеми силами союз рабочих и крестьян.
Departing from us, Comrade Lenin bequeathed to strengthen the union of workers and peasants with all the power. We swear to you, Comrade Lenin, that we will fulfill this your commandment with honor. Did you hear that? Did you hear that distant rumble of the incoming thunderstorm? This is January of 1924, and Comrade Stalin just announced about the new form of the civil war coming at the Soviet Russia. Now the war will be against the merchants and the kulaks. By 1928, the new economic policy introduced by Lenin will be shut down, government gonna take over, and the next step will be the battle against the kulaks, so-called rich peasants. So that's when a massive collectivization of 1930 would begin, and millions of peasants in Ukraine, Russia, and Kazakhstan will perish from starvation. And back to the Stalin speech. The second foundation of the Republic of the Soviets is the union of the working nationalities of our country, Russians and Ukrainians, Bashkirs and Belarusians, Georgians and Azeris, Azerbaijanians, Armenians and Dagestanis, Tatars and Kyrgyz, Uzbeks and Turkmens. They are all equally interested in strengthening the dictatorship of proletariat. The dictatorship of proletariat helped to free these nationalities from the oppressions, helped to free these people from intrigues and attacks of the enemies of the working class by the selfless devotion to the Soviet Republic, by their readiness to sacrifice their lives for it. This is why Comrade Lenin tirelessly spoke to us about the need for the voluntarily union of the nations in our country, about the need for their fraternal cooperation within the framework of the Union of Republics.
Уходя от нас, товарищ Ленин завещал нам укреплять и расширять союз республик. Departing from us, Comrade Lenin bequeathed to strengthen and expand the Union of Republics. We swear to you, Comrade Lenin, that we will fulfill with honor this your commandment.
So this is interesting. So in this part, Stalin promises that he will fill with honor Lenin's commandment to strengthen and expand the union of the Soviet republics. So 1924, and Stalin talking about expanding the Union of Republics, although about the same time he was promoting the concept of building socialism in a single country. But the trick is, if you're planning to expand this country and add more republics, so you can eventually expand the country to the whole world. It's technically be one country and one socialism system. Okay, back to the speech. The third basis of the dictatorship of the proletariat is our Red Army and our Red Navy. So back then it wasn't called Soviet Army, it was called Red Army. Comrade Lenin told us more than once that the respite that we won from the capitalist states may turn out to be short-lived. So it's interesting. So Soviet Russia had a civil war, but here Comrade Stalin talking like a capitalist countries were attacking Soviet Russia, which is not exactly the truth. Lenin pointed out to us more than once that strengthening the Red Army and improving its condition is one of the most important tasks of our party. The events related to the Curzon's ultimatum, not sure what he's talking about here, and the crisis in Germany once again confirmed that Lenin was, as always, right. Let us swear, comrades, that we will spare no effort to strengthen our army and our Red Navy. Our country stands like the enormous cliff surrounded by the ocean of the bourgeois states. Wave after wave rolls on it, threatening to flood and wash us away, but the rock still holds firm. Why is that? Not only because our country rests on an alliance of workers and peasants, not because it personifies the alliance of free nationalities, not because it's defended by the mighty hand of the Red Army and Red Navy. The strength in our country, its stability, lays in fact that it has a deep sympathy
and unshakable support in the hearts of workers and peasants of the whole world. The workers and the peasants of the whole world want to preserve the Soviet Republic as this arrow pointed at the heart of the enemies, as the pillar of their hopes for deliverance from oppression and exploitation, as a sure beacon showing them the path of liberation. They want to preserve it, and they will not let the landowners and capitalists to destroy it. This is our strength. This is the strength of the working people of all countries, and this is the weakness of the bourgeois of the whole world. Okay, now listen very carefully right here, because this is quite a departure from Stalin's concept of socialism in one country. So here we go. Lenin never looked at the Soviet Republic as the end in itself. He always regarded it as a necessary link for strengthening the revolutionary movement in the countries of the West and East, as necessary link for facilitating the victory of the working people of the whole world over the capital. Lenin knew that only such an understanding was correct, not only from international point of view, but also from the point of view of preservation of the Soviet Republic itself. Lenin knew that only in this way could the hearts of working people of the whole world be inflamed for decisive battles for liberation. This is why Lenin, the most brilliant of the brilliant leaders of the proletariat, on the very day after proletarian dictatorship, laid the foundation of the Workers' International. That is why he did not tire to expanding and strengthening the union of the working of the whole world, the Communist International, Коммунистический Интернационал. So here you go. This is your theory of the permanent revolution that was assigned to Leon Trotsky, but here Stalin, totally on board with Lenin's concept that Soviet Union, the Soviet Republic, is only the beginning of working people of the entire world taking over and pushing for Workers' International and Communist International. And fun fact, all the way up to 1943, the national anthem of the Soviet Union was actually the international song, that International. It's only in 1943 Comrade Stalin decided to change it, which is a topic for the separate video. During these days, you have seen tens and hundreds of thousands of working people pilgrimage to the tomb of Comrade Lenin. After some time, you will see pilgrimage of representatives of millions of working people to the grave of Comrade Lenin. You can be sure that representatives of tens and hundreds of millions from all over the world will later follow the representatives of millions in order to testify that Lenin was the leader not only of the Russian proletariat, not only of European workers, not only of colonial East, but of all working people of all over the world.
Уходя от нас, товарищ Ленин завещал нам верность принципам коммунистического интернационала.
Departing from us, Comrade Lenin bequeathed to keep the faith to the principles of the Communist International. We swear to you, Comrade Lenin, that we will not spare our lives in order to strengthen and expand the union of workers of the whole world, the Communist International. So here you go, and the final, most powerful message that Comrade Stalin sent in January of 1924, that he will not spare lives in order to strengthen and expand the union of the workers to the entire world. Well, if you managed to make it all the way to the end of this long and boring video, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, maybe learned something new. As always, I
enjoy reading your comments, so please post your comment. Don't forget to like this video, and we'll talk to you soon. До свидания. Goodbye.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about, have your fucking clout, it be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can.
Hey, by the way, cool merch for cool comrades is available at the Ushanka store at teespring.com. Just a friendly reminder that my book American Diaries is available on amazon.com, or shoot me an email if you would like to have a signed copy. Thank you. And if you love my channel and would like to show your support, please click on the link below this video and become the patron of the Ushanka Show. For as little as $1, you can help us grow and create the new interesting videos about the life in Soviet